Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this from. We are here at Universal Studios Orlando, and we're already late for Halloween Horror Nights speculation season.
Universal starts dropping hints as early as last October.
Yeah.
That's how you know we're late. So let's go ahead and get it started. It is speculation season time. We're gonna be talking about Easter eggs, hints, house names, codes, how we speculate. Let's get it
start
started.
it off. So part of the speculation process for us, honestly, can put us in a rabbit hole everywhere. But a lot of times, not only do we start in tribute stores and things like that, but to try and speculate the certain IPs that Universal acquires for Halloween Horror Nights. A good place to look for stuff like that is like new merch that pops up.
Yeah.
A lot of times, even during the previous year of Halloween Horror Nights, they have a lot of merch that'll pop up that are very like,
Might or might not hint. A little bit of a raised eyebrow, you know, like, why
Yeah.
is all there?
right. One of the good stores to check while you're in Universal Studios is going to be Five and Dime.
Mhm.
So we're going to go in there real quick
Yeah.
and check some stuff
Let's see
out.
what they have. So they have a lot of Chucky merch, but that has been there for years.
Yeah, we've
already.
acquired a Chucky IP for a long time.
Right now, I think that they only have like Dark Universe and Monster stuff. But last year, this is where we actually got our announcements for the houses.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Every Thursday, I think it was, we got like a new house announcement and new shirts and new merchandise. So it was pretty fun to be here in the store to see that change.
Yeah.
But also, if you come to all the way to the back, we have a very inconspicuous Psycho merch. It's not an anniversary. There is no movies coming out. But however, we have Alfred Hitchcock everywhere. The birds.
It's an older movie, but if you guys have never seen it, you should watch it. It is interesting to the era of horror that it was.
I have to admit, I've never seen it, so I think I'm gonna have to like give it a little watch. But the trailer that you played for me, it was a little bit interesting.
Well, it was before trailers for trailers. Don't you
True.
remember when I took you to Nosferatu
Oh my
and they
gosh.
announced the previews over the
Oh my gosh.
intercom
If you guys have ever been to the Enzion Theater, it is so
in Maitland, Florida?
In Maitland, yeah, it's in Maitland, Florida. I'm not a Floridian, so I get a little lost. But this theater is like your old school theater. The announcements are actually made by a person, so they're like talking to a microphone. They're telling you this movie is coming out to theaters. I dare you. It's hilarious. This is cute.
Minions.
Minions.
What's the back look like?
I don't know.
Oh, that's actually really cute.
That is a cute
Mhm.
shirt. Also, another place that we liked to look at last year was the Boris Schuster window. There we got hints for our tribute store and the theme of the tribute store last year. So as the event comes closer to you, I would start checking there too, just in case they leave any hints of tribute stores, scare zones, houses, IPs, anything, honestly.
Yeah, we're gonna show you where that's at though, because it's in the New York area, kind of tucked up high.
Yeah.
So we're walking over there right now, passing through Mel's Drive-In.
Yes, it's also Rugby Universe weekend.
It
so.
is. It's a little busy.
It is a
So
little
we're gonna
busy.
we're gonna head over there and show you where that's at. All right, so right here in this like alleyway of New York, if you're heading from Transformers going to Finnegan's, you're gonna look up to your left, and that's where you're gonna see your Boris Schuster private investigations window. And back there, and there's a little cork board, and they always have little clues when it gets close to the event.
I have a napkin for the Kitty Cat Club. If you guys don't remember last year, they did have a Kitty Cat Lounge right there in the little New York area and the alleyways. They also had hints for the tribute store and what the tribute store was going to be themed for. Also, like, there's actually like a tie-in with Boris Schuster and HHN history. So we can talk about that too if you want to.
Okay, so the Boris Schuster window is a permanent Easter egg that honors a key character from the mythology of Halloween Horror Nights. So Boris Schuster originally appeared in 2008. He is a fictional character who's a private investigator, and he's also founder of the legendary Truth, which is a group who studies paranormal events within the HHN universe. He was introduced as the detective investigating Dr. Mary Agana, which is Bloody Mary, for the 2008 Reflections of Fear House. And even after the event ended, the window remained as a detail and nod to the horror events, also providing us with like clues of what we might see next. And not only that, but we also saw Earl the Squirrel hints, which is super random. But every now and then you'll be able to see hints and clues regarding to the next event. And another place that we like to visit is the Horror Makeup Show lobby, which has 2 of our icons. So right in this lobby, not only will you find some displays for classic horror movies, but you also have a little spot for 2 of our icons, as well as some information for Halloween Horror Nights. So let's dive in a little. So as we know, each Halloween Horror Night starts with an overall theme and a master of ceremonies. These are who we call the icons. Our first official icon was Jack the Clown back in the year 2000. Since then, we have seen a variety of icons, each with storylines that merged throughout the years. With Jack the Clown being one of the most returned icons, especially during anniversary years, we have high speculations of his return. We also cannot ignore the Easter eggs that we got last year. We did get to see some Jack the Clown bedsheets at the Dolls Let's Play Dead house. And inside of El Artista house, we did see the Dr. Oddfellow symbol. Dr. Oddfellow and Jack the Clown have been feuding for decades now. And last we know, Dr. Oddfellow trapped Jack in the box. So we believe it is time for Jack to get his revenge.
All right, so we're at a comfy spot, so let's talk about other things that we use to speculate.
Yeah, we haven't really talked much about the spec map. So, and again, the spec maps are nothing that Universal provides themselves. These are all things that fans and other creators have come up with that are just as much as Halloween Horror Nights junkies as we are, if not more.
There is no official release of an announcement until Universal actually announces it. But these are just like super fun to do. I feel like every season we wait for like a speculation map to see kind of where it's going. Right. And then we draw our own conclusions from that, which is like super fun.
Yeah, and these maps will change probably 3-4 times again, because the last map that just came out by HHN Nightmares was very Christmas coded, right? So all of the things on the map were Christmas symbols, besides like little things. But what we try and do in a difference of looking when we do look at maps like that, and also remembering, I think what a lot of speculators forget is the actual code names for the houses themselves. Yeah. Like we've talked about it before, how transportation is the theme this year.
Yes.
So sometimes it's hard because they put up these maps and the pictures are all like, and the little symbols are all things that you're like, oh, this could be this, this could be this, this could be this. But then when you look at it, how does that movie or IP or even original go with the transportation name of the house?
Yes. So like that's what usually when we look at the speculation maps, and another speculation hint or tool that we use is the code names for the houses.
So, and because we're here in the parks doing this, I'm going to pull my phone out for our own little trusty-dusty little...
fact checking.
It's my spreadsheet to...
We do have spreadsheets.
Spreadsheet to doom.
Yes.
Anyways. So we've, again, talked about this before, about the code names for the transportation at different houses. So we have tractor, we have hearse, we have wagon, we have shuttle, we have helicopter, balloon, train, chariot, car, and bus, which gives us 10 houses.
Yes.
Now, last year was the most IPs they've ever done.
Yes, it was
in
a
1 year.
50-50 split, whereas sometimes we see just 3 IPs and then the rest are originals.
Yeah, so hopefully this year they'll keep, because it's an anniversary year and it's going to be a great year.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Hopefully they keep that same vibe. And I wouldn't even put it past them to put more IPs than they've ever done, just simply because it is an anniversary year.
I mean,
you never know.
They can do whatever they want with the event. To me, I would say like I would love to see also again a 50-50 split, just because it is an anniversary year, and I feel like the originals are also very important when it comes to anniversaries, especially when they're bringing icons. So I would love to see like bunch of icons houses, like more original concepts and like some solid IPs.
Yeah, well, we also have really exciting speculations of the original houses.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So there is a couple things. So let's go to the map that HHN Nightmares put out. Yes. Okay, because with that map, again, there's so many things that are like super obvious in speculation, right? You have the grandfather clock, which 99.9% of us believe that that's Stranger Things.
and that it is coming.
Yeah, and if we look at history, Halloween Horror Nights has always put out a house at the year after the season has released.
Right.
So as for things that we agree with, Stranger Things is one of them.
Yes, for sure. We've seen the pinhead for like Hellraiser.
Yeah, there is a
Hellraiser.
picture of the pinhead on the map that has heavily speculated Hellraiser. He was a pop-up in a house not too long ago, but within the last 10 years, he was a pop-up in a house, and he didn't have his own house. So it would be really cool for them to bring Hellraiser back. I feel like that would be a very intense house because of the way that there's the movie, and like it is gory.
Yes.
It is bloody.
Yes.
So I think that like if we're going towards that gore and still continuing with that theme, you know,
It'll bring like old school horror back too,
Yeah.
which I feel like in an anniversary year you should kind of focus on like past events and classics and like classics that a lot of people and a lot of fans are looking forward to.
so another picture that we could agree with, would you say would be the Jack in the Box?
So yes, we do see that for the speculation map there is a Jack in the Box. The code name for that house is also Balloon.
Yes.
Which, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like a no-brainer. That also was where El Artista house was.
Was it
this year?
Let me
I
double
think.
check. Let me double check just so we're not wrong with
It
information.
is in the sound stages in the front.
So yes, Balloon is well, El Artista was, yes, Soundstage 22.
Right. So using my logic and my pattern recognition, I would say that a Jack the Clown house is coming there because of icons have been based on that house. Like El Artista, even though he wasn't an official icon, he opened the ceremony.
Yep.
So I would say that is pretty
That's also where they
accurate
had
on
the hint
dot.
for Oddfellow at the end of the
Yes.
last part of the last day of Halloween Horror Nights 34. They had a hint in the house for Oddfellow.
Right.
New location because the camera was in the sun and overheated. So even though it is 70 degrees outside, the sun was still, Okay, anyways. So where we left off was still talking about the Jack the Clown house. I was going into talking about Oddfellow.
Yes.
Because in the picture for the speculation map, you have Jack in the Box, but you also have a little tiny little creature with a yellow hat on, which Oddfellow does have a yellow top hat. So I think it's safe to say that we're on the same page with assuming that that's going to be a...
So I know we talked about the lore for Jack the Clown before in the video, but there is a feud, and if you guys remember the last time that we left them both, Oddfellow had already trapped Jack, right? So like if we continue the lore and if we continue with the story choice that we think that it would take on, it would be basically just like kind of Jack the Clown coming back and getting his revenge on Dr. Oddfellow.
Right.
So I wouldn't even be shy about saying that there will be other icons coming back with Jack the Clown too. Like,
Who knows exactly also what they're going to do with scare zones when it comes to the icon, right? Because like we've had times where we've had scare zones based on certain icons, even not the main icon. So we haven't even dug into scare zone speculation because that's just not gonna...
That's another can of worms.
Yeah.
Another way to speculate for originals, the one thing that I've seen the trend and again pattern recognition is that, for instance, Slaughter Cinema provided us with a lot of things that they did outside of that house. For instance, the Cat Lady of Cricket Lane.
Just a poster.
Was it a poster last
Yeah,
year?
Hatchets and Chains, however,
Hatchets.
was also from Slaughter Cinema.
Yeah.
And
We see also in the speculation map, for instance, we see Shuttle. We have seen Amazon from Planet Hell. It's like one of the stories from Slaughter Cinema that they have brought back twice in like little Easter eggs here and there. So like, I mean, that could be a fun
totally
one
do
to
a
bring.
sci-fi horror, whatever.
Yeah.
I also thought that Killer Clowns from Outer Space because of the shuttle vibe. That's another IP though.
Yeah.
We also saw a lot of the Killer Clowns merch pop up last year during Halloween Horror Nights. So Killer Clowns could be coming back.
Yeah.
Which
They
I think
have-
is hilarious.
That would be my favorite year, honestly, if they did do like a year of the clown.
Sounds great.
Yeah, no. What other speculations have we seen? We've seen Scary Tales.
Yeah, so there is a picture also on the map that is a wolf with a Santa hat right now because, of course, for Christmas theme. Years ago that they did original house called Scary Tales. And it was literally based on like all of your old scary fairy tales.
Yeah.
It was actually really good. I actually really enjoyed that house.
But again, the disconnect for me is the fact that like that house has a helicopter code name on it.
Correct.
And I can't relate Scary Tales with helicopter. Another one is Sinners. They have it on, I think it's either car or hearse.
Can't remember if it was where Fallout was or whatever, but it would be hearse or wagon
Right.
for the transportation names, which
Wagon would make sense.
would make sense, right? So Sinners is definitely, I mean, the picture itself is 2 cigarettes. We know smoke and what the heck is the other brother's name? Stack. Smoke and Stack, right?
I
Don't
fell
quote me.
asleep.
Don't
Sorry,
quote me.
I
She did
gotta-
fall
I
asleep.
gotta
I
watch
watched
the
it, but I'm
movie
pretty sure it's Smoke and Stack. And I mean, when you think about it, the cigarettes, it would point. I can see why a lot of people are speculating Sinners. You know, in the movie, they're in a barn having their party, and then they get approached by the vampire. So I would be interested to see how they would make that into a house, into something that is scary, right?
I feel like Halloween Horror Nights last year has been kind of like separating themselves from like horror and giving you more like cinematic aspects in
Storyline.
houses, right? Which I at this point, it's like as long as you give me a couple of like scares here and there, and you make a really good set, then we can call anything anything. So like I believe that anything, honestly, at this point, after seeing WWE. And
Anything could be anything.
anything could be anything,
Right.
honestly.
And going to that note, anything could be anything. We also have the eggnog picture. Okay. Now, with the eggnog picture, a lot of my thing is always like, we've talked about, you know, milk cartons, having missing children on milk cartons, and just in general. So that can go to so many different IPs, right?
Yeah.
You have Black Phone 2 that just came out, which is also about missing children. And Universal already has a contract with Blumhouse. So that could be a heavy possibility. People are also speculating Welcome to Derry.
That would be so cool.
Pennywise would be incredible.
Yeah.
However, I am very skeptical on if Universal will be able to acquire that to be able to do
Listen,
it.
I cannot speak for Stephen King. I cannot, okay? But like what I've heard and what I've researched is that they are so protective over their characters and storylines that giving that IP to somebody else to handle it, they're very like jealous about it. So it could be a very like low possibility, but it could be a possibility. I mean, I love Pennywise; he's my favorite.
I mean,
to
here's the
see
thing, though.
something based on that, I would.
True, but also think
Yeah.
about this. I also don't know how contracts go in a sense of IPs, right? Because you have It and It 2, which are the movies.
Right.
Welcome to Derry is a HBO Max exclusive.
Right. You have the
and
book.
could be differently written in a sense of contract that they could acquire. So it would be like, yes, not necessarily doing an It house, but if you did Welcome to Derry, would be very different because of maybe the way that it's contracted.
It could be.
I don't
yeah.
know. Could be.
I know that Stephen King wasn't directly involved in writing Welcome to Derry, so that
Could
might
be.
be the loophole.
Could be. That's
Who
a
knows?
lot of clowns though, because
That's
also
my
think
thing.
about this, right?
Would you bring
Jack is
such a big icon like Pennywise to overshadow Jack on an anniversary year? It's kind of like it won't do an anniversary year service. So I don't know. I'm a little
Or would it?
skeptical. I don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
Another, let's go to an original, right? So there is also a picture of a rock hand,
Right.
like a rock out skeleton hand in the speculation, which could all people speculate the an Ice Nine Kills house or something like Heavy Metal Hell 3D, which
Yeah.
was also a part
Yep.
of Slaughter Cinema.
Yep.
So that could also be something that's very highly speculated and
To return.
could be true to
I would
return.
love for it to see one of them.
You know,
yeah.
well, because they only had one room in Slaughter Cinema.
Yeah.
So if they did a Heavy Metal house 3D actual house, by using some Ice Nine Kills and some things like that, that would be
That'd be
really
pretty
cool.
dope. I would love to see Psycho. I know we've seen a lot of Albert Hitchcock merch around and
Bates
Psycho
Motel
and
stuff.
Bates Motel stuff. I would love for that to happen here. I know that they have it on the Terror Tram in Hollywood.
They do. Well, they have the set, the movie set,
right?
yeah.
So it would be like pretty cool to see it over here on this side. But also another thing to consider for me is like the storyline, the lore behind Jack the Clown and behind Oddfellow. I think that whenever they come with very specific items too. Like I know that Jack the Clown on your favorite year came back with like full-on slashers.
2007, it was the Carnival of Carnage.
Right, so he's like chaos, mayhem, all that kind of stuff. And then Oddfellow is more of the collector, the balance. He likes order. So like with that also comes like the zodiacs and everything that belongs to him. So it'd be very, very interesting to see how they base a whole event on not just the lore of Jack the Clown, but like bringing back other hits and things that we've done in the past.
Yeah. So hearing that El Artista has a major play in what Halloween Horror Nights looks like this year, I want to dig more into that. Not in this video, but I want us to dig more into that to understand how that also is a part of it and why they chose El Artista to also drop the Oddfellow hint in.
Lots of things.
Yeah. Let's center back also to the Christmas tribute store real quick, because everybody talked about the evil nutcracker in the box being a complete 100% indication that it's Annabelle. Here's my thing about that. I don't necessarily believe that. I think that they were toying with us a little bit because Halloween Horror Nights and Universal likes to do that shit.
But also, there were Easter eggs at the tribute store, the Christmas tribute store. We did get some of the nutcrackers that resembled the scare zones. But you also have to remember that the tribute stores will give you the hint for the next tribute store. So Christmas was hinting to Mardi Gras will hint to HHN. So to look for like hints and more things to come, I would say keep an eye on the Mardi Gras tribute store, which they usually...
Because the next event will be Halloween Horror Nights.
Correct.
And the thing is too, if you look at the nutcracker in the box being a possessed type being, right? Mardi Gras and voodoo go hand in hand.
Hand in hand, absolutely.
So there is, I think, a tie with that. I don't necessarily think that box was a representation of Halloween Horror Nights or a speculation. I think it was something that was meant to fool people.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like I said, this is just for fun.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to do until Halloween Horror Nights comes through. So like,
I will also totally eat my words if it is Annabelle House, 1000%. I do know that Six Flags, I believe, had an Annabelle House, not last year, but the year before, or at least somewhere close. So I'm not really sure where that IP sits.
Right.
They had The Conjuring too, so that's a whole universe within itself. Okay, so also we had a speculation for, was it Evil Dead or Resident Evil?
Somebody mentioned Resident Evil, but I think that was Hollywood?
Maybe.
I think it was Hollywood. Don't quote me on it.
But
I could see a video game.
Yeah, I could totally see a video game. We speculated the transportation code name being helicopter, possibly Silent Hill. So
there was a lot of hype for Silent Hill for last Spooky Empire that we saw during Halloween last year, and it is a super hype IP. A lot of people do love Silent Hill, so I would love to see a Silent Hill house.
Yeah.
Oh, Chariot, we are thinking about Mummy only because of last year's tribute store. It was very related to like also like original rights, like Poseidon and the Mummy. So we're thinking that maybe Chariot could be the Mummy. Who knows?
Yep.
Again, that would be an IP for Universal, but again, it's an anniversary year. Are they bringing heavy IPs? Are they bringing more originals?
And how does that work with Dark Universe?
Right.
Because technically Victoria Frankenstein has all the monsters trapped in her manor.
Right.
So
and would that mean that then we would never see another Monsters house here?
Well, technically Universal has Horror Unleashed that has Universal Monsters there.
True.
So could we? Sure. I don't know if necessarily they'll bring it to Orlando just simply because of Dark Universe.
True.
Blumhouse did just acquire The Mummy, the new movie.
True.
So
True.
could be a thing. Could be a thing.
Anything can happen. I think that's it. I think that's all that we've been like kind of researching and thinking, hey, this could be a thing or this could not be a thing. For those of you who have been watching the video, hopefully this helps you out. Maybe kind of have a little fun.
And these are just our
as well.
speculations.
Yeah.
This is not coming from Universal. We don't have any insider help. We don't
know
have any
anybody.
higher ups. We don't
No.
have any of that. This is all coming from our brains and
Just having fun.
logic or unlogic. We don't really know because we still have the show that's
Or
going to
Delulu.
change this year. Well, we have
Yeah.
the show that's going to change this year because Nightmare Fuel's not coming back.
Right.
So what are they going to do with that?
Right. Are we having another Bill and Ted type show? I've heard a lot of people. I have been saying that they might bring the show from
Horror Unleashed
here to Orlando. So I don't know. Anything's a possibility. Again, anything could be anything. We don't know, but we're having fun with it. So.
True. Yes.
Any comments or thoughts or your own speculations, leave them down in the comments below. We will link a little map for you to fill out if you want to do your own speculation too. We'll be posting a lot more videos on YouTube as well as the season comes closer with like more speculations, things that we see, maybe some walkthroughs around the park. So if you guys want to stick around, make sure to subscribe, like, and share.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Well, alrighty. See you in parks.